Jurors in the civil lawsuit against Donald Trump have found the former U.S. president not guilty of raping magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. The jury in Manhattan has, however, found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation and awarded Carroll $5 million in compensatory and punitive damages. The jurors reached their verdict after just a few hours of deliberations. Trump called the verdict a disgrace. He was accused of raping Carroll in a luxury Manhattan department store in the 1990s. TW correspondent Amin Esif has followed the trial. Hi, Amin. Break this verdict down for us. What has the jury found Trump guilty for and what not?
Well, he's been found liable for sexual assault and for defamation. This goes back to the mid-90s when E. Jean Carroll said she was raped by him in a women's dressing room in a department store in Manhattan, which he furiously denied. But what they found him not liable for is rape. Now, this is interesting because the evidence was the same on both accounts. It was just her testimony and that of two friends who said that she called after the alleged incident in an emotional state and told them about what had allegedly happened. But now the jury has decided that she proved beyond a preponderance, with a preponderance of evidence that sexual assault occurred, but that a rape did not. But he will have to pay $5 million in damages for sexual assault and for defamation after he denied it, saying that it was a hoax after she went public with it. Of course, he still can appeal, so the $5 million isn't in her bank account just yet.
He can appeal. He has already called it a disgrace. What else have we heard from Trump since we learned of the verdict?
Well, even just minutes before the verdict came out, Trump posted on Truth Social, which is his personal social media. He said that he would appeal no matter what the verdict was, and he denied the allegations once again. After the verdict came out, his first statement has been that he has no idea who this woman is. This was his basic defense the whole time, that he doesn't even know this woman, calling the whole thing a hoax, which is obviously not true because he's been in photos with her, which was presented as evidence in court. And he also said that it's a continuation of one of the greatest witch hunts of all time. His campaign came out and said that this was in a district in New York City that's owned by Democrats, and that this is an example of extreme left-wing politics getting involved in the legal system here. So once again, furiously denying it, making the same claims that he was just found guilty of defamation for.
Does this verdict have any implications for Trump's ambitions to run for president again next year?
Well, this is a big question. What is the worst case scenario for Trump here? Of course, he knew that his reputation was on the line. He didn't even show up in court. He didn't seem to be taking this trial very seriously. But now that he's been found liable of sexual assault, he does seem furious. I think one way you can look at this is that his very hardcore supporters are going to see this as a witch hunt. They're going to see him as being politically persecuted here. But part of his lure has always been that he could escape charges like this. This is really the first time that he's been held liable in front of a jury for sexual assault. And so this might take away from that allure. One thing that's been interesting is a very long shot Republican candidate who would be challenging him in the Republican primaries made a statement after the jury came to its conclusions here and said that you need to know how to talk to a jury, and that if you attack a jury, this can really backfire. So framing him as a loser in this situation, which is Trump's worst fear.
And E. Jean Carroll's lawyer said that she wanted to prove that nobody, including a former president, is above the law. I think this mission was accomplished. DW's Amin Esif, thank you.